Rabies. This virus has been around since humans have walked the earth and only infects mammals. It's a preventable disease, but more than 55,000 people die from rabies each year. Wound cleaning and immunization can reduce the chance of the onset of rabies, but it is almost always fatal unless treated. Watch as we show you footage of a dramatized version of rabies victims and the effect the virus has on their lives. This docile house cat is infected with rabies. The disease causes them to turn into an aimlessly wandering animal that will attack and usually infect everything in its path. Transmission of the disease is done by coming in contact with infected saliva, usually through a bite. Although, you can also get rabies if their saliva comes in contact with your mouth, eyes, or nose. Sparta, the cat, has just infected Ella, the dog, with rabies. First, the virus will enter the muscle cells near the bite and replicate. Then, the new viruses will enter the nerve cells, which carry it to the brain. They once again replicate. These new viruses travel throughout the body, spreading the virus. Infected animals are prone to attack without being provoked, causing the spread of rabies.
She bit me. She's never bit me before. That's so weird.
If you have been bitten by an animal which might have rabies, then you have two options. Scenario 1. You should immediately clean the wound with soap, water, and alcohol to reduce the risk of rabies. Then, immediately contact your doctor, telling him or her that an animal suspected of having rabies has bitten you. Based on the type of animal, the conditions leading up to the bite, and the history of rabies in the area, your doctor may decide that you need a vaccination.
So Anna, based on what you've told us, we think it's safe to say that there's a high chance that you have rabies. So in order to make sure that you don't die, we're going to administer you the rabies vaccine.
Okay.
So Anna, do you know anything about rabies?
No, not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you.
Well, rabies is a helicovirus that causes encephalitis or swelling of the brain. It is one of the few diseases that attacks the central nervous system. It is easily preventable but almost always fatal unless the vaccine is administered early on, before the onset of symptoms.
So doctor, am I going to die?
Oh no, of course not. We caught yours very early on, so if you're okay with us administering you the vaccine, then you will most likely survive.
So, the vaccine for rabies was first created by Louis Pasteur, who tested it with dogs and rabbits. He was then forced to try it on an infected boy who was going to die from rabies if he did not receive vaccination. The boy survived with no side effects, and the vaccine we have is now a modernized version of his. The process is called post-exposure prophylaxis. There are two different kinds of shots that we will give you. First, we will give you 1 dose of RIG. Then you will receive HDCV.
So Anna, are you ready?
You bet.
Okay. Okay, you're all done. Except for you have to come back for 4 more treatments of the shot over the next month.
What?
Scenario 2.
Hey, don't you think you should get that bite looked at by a doctor?
Excuse me? It's just a bite, and I'm sorry, but I think I'm as qualified as any doctor could be, so if you excuse me.
Fine, whatever.
Gosh, I feel so sick. I wonder what's wrong with me.
Well, what do you feel like?
I have a fever, a headache, and I feel really weak. At first, I thought I just had the flu, but it just seems to be getting worse.
Well, I was at the mall the other day, and this guy was handing out pamphlets trying to raise awareness about rabies. And do you remember that other day when your freakish dog bit you? Well, I think you have rabies.
Oh, come on. I don't have rabies. Let me look at this stupid pamphlet. Symptoms of rabies. 739 sheep, 740 sheep, 741 sheep. Where am I? Oh, I love you too, Grandma. What is my homework? It's double-sided. Oh my God, Margot. I can't believe it's Wednesday and you're not even wearing pink. I can't sit with you. I can't handle, it's just so Gosh, Mario, I don't have rabies.
Later that evening, Anna slipped into a coma and died.
Fine, whatever. Die.
Gosh.
Of course not. We caught yours very early on, so if you're okay with us administering you the vaccine, you will most likely not survive.
Most likely.
You will most likely survive.
Am I going to die?
Oh, no, of course.
Doctor. So, doctor, am I going to die?
Yes.